The weekend's goes for show. It's on, you know. Take a listen to the station. 96.1 FM.
It is now 6:32. Make that 28 minutes going up to the hour of 7 o'clock. It's now time for the news right here on NRP Radio and NRP Media. Good evening and welcome to our platforms, nrpmediaja.com, also Facebook and YouTube at nrpmediaja. It's Friday, November 8th, 2024. I am Leaon Nash with the NRP Evening News Roundup. Here are the headlines. 15% reduction in major crimes reported since the start of 2024. Attendance at least 4 St. Elizabeth schools impacted by broken roadway. Youth Month commences this November under the theme Youth Impact 2024, Innovative Minds, Purposeful Action, Collective Triumphs. Calls made for the government to urgently address the critical shortage of service vehicles at 3 St. Mary-based police stations. And in sport, CONCACAF announces procedure governing the 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup draw. The news today is brought to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations whatsoever.
Hi, I'm Genevieve.
And I'm Kalisha. And we are the Christo Praises. You're listening to NRP Media and Radio. Reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
Now the news in details. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang is reporting that a 15% reduction has been accomplished in major crimes since the start of 2024. For the period January 1 to November 4, the total number of murders recorded fell by 19%, equating to 233 fewer persons killed this year, while shootings have dipped by 9%. Dr. Chang stated that this quarter, August, September, and October, has traditionally been the highest quarter for the year, but has turned out to be the lowest 3 months of the last 5 years. He says this reflects the introduction of new strategies by Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake, that should be Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake, and the team of officers leading the police force today. Dr. Chang pointed out that there has been a notable 28% decline in rapes, while robberies have decreased by 21% on the 5 critical divisions that literally cause about 50% of the murders in the country on an annualized basis. The National Security Minister informed that murders in St. James are down by 32%, Westmoreland 12%, Clarendon 39%, Kingston West 30%, and St. Andrews South 14%.
Another feature of our success by the police has been the significant reduction in incidents of multiple murders. While the recent 3 have shaken the society, at this point last year there were 78 incidents of double murders with 156 victims. This year there have been 40 such incidents with 80 victims, and we continue to take action to reduce that kind of activity.
That was National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang. Meanwhile, Dr. Chang added that 667 illegal firearms have been seized since the start of the year. Of that number, 383 guns were taken from assailants, while 284 were seized without any arrests made. At least one St. Elizabeth principal has called for the authorities to work feverishly to fix a breakaway that has occurred and that has caused a major road in the Balaclava area of St. Elizabeth to become impassable, leaving residents, motorists, students, and teachers with a longer and more treacherous journey from home to places of business or school. The schools impacted include Roger Clark High, Magotty High, Sydney Pagan STEM Academy, and Silo Primary. Principal of the Roger Clark High School in St. Elizabeth, George Lewis, told NRP News that since the passage of Hurricane Beryl and exacerbated by Tropical Storm Raphael, a section of the road used by the schools broke into two along the cane belt between the turnoff to Aberdeen High School and Appleton Heights in the parish. Mr. Lewis says this has been creating untold hardships for the students.
The breakaway on the roadway that connects Balaclava to Silo has impacted our attendance, both student attendance, student and staff attendance, as well as punctuality, the matter of punctuality. So we have had quite a few students who arrived at school late today because of that. The alternative route is at best treacherous and certainly longer. As well, you have some drivers who are reluctant to use the alternative route. It is posing a challenge for us. And then for extracurricular activities that take place, that go on after school and would cause students to go home a little later, that is going to be impacted as well. Because then those students, if they stay late, you'd find that they're going to be using that alternative route in the late evening, 5:30, 6 o'clock, when it's starting to get dark. And that poses another sort of challenge for the students and staff as well. For the students who travel from that end, let us say that more than 50% of that cohort, those students have been late, with a few absent as well. So our students not only come from Silo end, there are those who come from the Miles Valley end, as well as Santa Cruz. So those coming from the Silo end, they are the ones who will be impacted. And the absenteeism for that group is higher, as well as late coming for that group from this morning.
And Mr. Lewis says if the road is not repaired soon, it could cause untold hardships for many.
Because the alternative route is not, I am worried about it, especially if it continues to rain. Because the alternative route is not a paved road, it is through a cane field. So it is designed for tractors, not for motor vehicles, taxis and buses. And so I'm concerned about it and would urge your authorities to try and get that road that is broken off to be fixed as soon as possible.
That was principal of the Roger Clark High School in St. Elizabeth, George Lewis. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, speaking in Clarendon this week, reminds Jamaicans that the government understands the challenges that they're experiencing regarding the quality of roads. The Prime Minister informed that while the government is making efforts to have the roads repaired, citizens should be aware that the government's efforts continue to be impacted by climate change.
Climate change. We're getting more rain, more often, with greater intensity. And that is just mashing up the road. But the time is also hotter. And the hotter the climate, the faster the deterioration of the road. So a whole heap of things happening that coincide at this point to create what I believe is a crisis on local roads. We have to get on top of this local road situation. And that is why, my friends, this pain point that you are feeling, this administration is sensitive to it. We understand it. And we are the only administration that can fix it.
That was Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, and the government says it has begun assessing the damage caused by Tropical Storm Raphael, which impacted Jamaica between November 4 and 5. Prime Minister Andrew Holness said preliminary figures indicate that the damage could range between $500 million and $1 billion. Addressing this week's post-cabinet press briefing, the Prime Minister noted that Jamaica has a multi-layered disaster risk response mechanism, which has placed the country in a position to fund the repairs. He said that Jamaica is at the stage where instead of borrowing to finance what the government has been doing, the government has set aside from the budget money to be able to finance these things. Meanwhile, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and with responsibility for works, Robert Morgan, in giving a report on the storm's impact, noted that there were 15 blocked roads, 10 flooded roads, minor damage to 2 roads, 7 roads with single lane access, and 2 roads that were impassable. During the month of November, young persons will be the focus of attention as the nation celebrates Youth Month under the theme Youth Impact 2024 Innovative Minds, Purposeful Action, Collective Triumphs. Organized by the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information through its Youth and Adolescents Policy Division, the month-long celebration will recognize the remarkable contributions of young people while empowering them to take actionable steps toward meaningful change in their communities. Acting Senior Director of the division, Yannick Williams, says Youth Month provides an opportunity to shine a spotlight on the potential of young people to continue to drive progress and innovation across all sections of the society. According to her, with the focus on empowerment, leadership, and collaboration, the celebration will address critical issues affecting young people and inspire them to actively contribute to shaping a brighter future. According to Ms. Williams, this year's theme is a clarion call for youth to take ownership of their future and to contribute to resolving pressing social, economic, and environmental changes. She added that by focusing on tangible outcomes, Youth Impact encourages Jamaica's youth to embrace their agency and work together to create lasting positive changes in their communities. The month-long activities are guided by a theme aligned to the primary objectives of the period and aims to promote digital literacy and gender parity in the context of a more dynamic and innovative world, promote health and well-being amongst the youth, and encourage them to practice healthy lifestyle choices. You're listening to news on NRP Radio. The time is now 6:43. Junior Shadow Minister of Citizen Security and Productivity, Councillor Giovanni Byfield, is calling on the government to urgently address the critical shortage of service vehicles at the Awakabesa, Castleton, and Prospect police stations in St. Mary. According to Councillor Byfield, this call to action comes at a crucial time as the community prepares for the busy Yuletide season, a period historically marked by increased crime and violence.
The lack of service vehicles severely hampers the ability of the police to respond swiftly and effectively to emergencies. As we enter and approach the Christmas season, it is important that our police are fully equipped to ensure the safety and security of our residents. We cannot afford to have our police stations operating without necessary resources, especially during a time when criminal activities tend to spike. We must prioritize this service vehicle shortage at these stations in St. Mary so that we can allow the police to do their duties while protecting the residents in a time like the Christmas season when historically crime and violence tend to rise. I'm calling on the government to urgently assist St. Mary, the police division of St. Mary, to provide them with necessary resources that is required to get the job done.
That was Junior Shadow Minister of Citizens, Security and Productivity, Councillor Giovanni Byfield. Members of the Senate recently approved the Trade Amendment Act 2024, which was piloted by Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Orbin Hill. He explained that insertion of a new subsection in Clause 2 of the legislation allows the minister to facilitate importers who ordered or purchased consignments prior to the effective date of the prohibition order, the Trade Plastics Packaging Materials Amendment Order 2024, to import these goods without consequences. Senator Hill said, quote, "It should be noted that the Trade Plastic Materials Prohibition Amendment Order 2024 also provides that the distribution of plastic food containers should terminate on the 9th day of January 2025. As such, in the exercise of this discretion, the minister will be guided by this timeline," unquote. The Trade Plastics Packaging Materials Amendment Order 2024 was promulgated on July 11, 2024. The minister further informed that Clause 2 of the Act provides for the insertion of new subsections 4, 5, and 6. Senator Hill explained that subsection 4 provides that where an order was made providing for an absolute prohibition on the importation of goods pursuant to subsection 1A, the minister may, by order, specify that the consignment be treated in the same manner as goods imported prior to the effective date of such prohibition, if the minister is satisfied of the matter in subsection 5. Detectives attached to the Spanish Town Criminal Investigation Branch have charged a 32-year-old bus conductor after he allegedly confessed to stabbing another man in the Old Capitol on Thursday, October 24. He is a 32-year-old Kamar Goff of Washington Boulevard, St. Andrew. Reports on the Spanish Town police are that about 9 p.m., Goff and another man were standing outside a passenger bus when they got into an argument. It is alleged that during the argument, Goff used a knife to inflict a wound to the man's chest. The man was assisted to the hospital where he was admitted for treatment. Goff later turned himself into the police and was subsequently charged after reportedly confessing to the incident. His court date is being arranged. And finally, in the local segment of the news this evening, 42-year-old Dwayne Anglin, business owner of Truro District, Frome, Westmoreland, has been charged with murder following an incident in his community on Sunday, November 4. Dead is 29-year-old Sidonia Martin, a travel agent of Truro District, Frome, Westmoreland. Reports from the Westmoreland police are that about 3:30 a.m., Anglin and Martin had an altercation during which Anglin used a machete to inflict wounds to Martin's head. Martin was taken to the hospital where she later succumbed to her injuries on Tuesday, November 5. Anglin surrendered himself to the police and was later charged. His court date is being arranged. You are listening to news on NRP Radio, your primary Christian source for news, sports, and the weather on nrpmediaja.com, reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations. Now let's give you some sporting information brought to you by Four Seasons Sports Closet and Equipment. They are over there in Mandeville in Manchester, Jamaica. Let's now visit and hear from Four Seasons.
Four Seasons Sports and Equipment, the Sports Closet, now located at shop number 3, Leaders Plaza, Nashville, Mandeville, Manchester. Call them today at 876-613-7429. Cellular phone 876-363-8323 or 876-546-0630. Yes, you asked for it and now you got it. Four Seasons Sports and Equipment. Shop with us for a wide range of sporting goods and equipment. It's Four Seasons Sports and Equipment. Sports Closet, you'll never go asking for anymore.
Thank you so much, NRP Sports, with your information on football, yes, and also on cricket in this package this evening. Let's tell you that the NRP Sports 365 understands that the Jamaica Football Federation has rescheduled its squad announcement for the upcoming CONCACAF's Nation League quarterfinals, which was scheduled to be released today. This is now set for tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning at the JFF's offices in Kingston. CONCACAF has announced the procedures that will govern the 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup draw. The live made-for-TV event in Miami, Florida will take place on Tuesday, December 10, 2024, and will determine each club's path to the final of the Elite Club competition. The 60th edition of the CONCACAF Champions Cup is shaping up to be a historic one, as some of the region's top teams, including Club America, Guadalajara, and Cruz Azul from Liga MX, Lionel Messi's Inter Miami FC, Los Angeles LAFC, and LA Galaxy, and Costa Rican powerhouses Ala Zuruzenzi and Hernando Diando have already secured a berth. The tournament continues to be played in a direct elimination knockout stage format, including 5 rounds and 27 clubs. The first 4 rounds, round 1, round of 16, quarterfinals, and semifinals all include home and away play, while the final, where the region's champions is crowned, is played as a single leg match. The 11-round 1 series will be played in February, followed by the round of 16 in March, the quarterfinals in the first half of April, the semifinals in late April and early May, and an epic final on Sunday, June 1. Still on football, the Jamaica Football Federation would like to inform members of the public that physical tickets for Jamaica versus the United States on Thursday, November 14, at the National Stadium will be sold at the JFF head office as of Monday, November 11. Tickets will be sold from Monday, November 11 until match day on November 14, starting at 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. each day. The ticket prices remain the same at 1,500 Jamaican dollars for bleachers, $6,000 for grandstand, and $10,000 for VIP. Tickets will be sold online at jff.quapid.com/. Kickoff for Thursday's encounter is 8 p.m. Jamaica time. Members of the public are being encouraged to take their tickets or to get their tickets early as soon as possible, as demand continues to increase in the days leading up to the game. Finally, on cricket, West Indies fast bowler Alzarri Joseph has been suspended for 2 matches for leaving the field after an argument with captain Shai Hope during the third one-day international against England. Joseph, who is 27-year-old, was unhappy with a field placement of his bowling and did not celebrate dismissing Jordan Cox before walking off at the end of the 4th over. West Indies started the next over with only 10 players on the field, and Joseph walked off again later after 2 misfields of his bowling. According to him, quote, "My passion got the best of me," said Joseph in a public apology. "I understand that even a brief lapse in judgment can have a far-reaching impact, and I deeply regret any disappointment caused." Joseph said he had apologized to Hope, his teammates, and the management, and also extends his sincerest apologies to West Indies fans. The hosts thrashed England by 8 wickets in Barbados to win the ODI series 2-1. West Indies next face England in 5 T20s, with the first and second matches both taking place in Barbados on Saturday and Sunday. That's sports, brought to you courtesy of Four Seasons Closet and Equipment. They're over there in Mandeville in Manchester. We promise to bring you a good news story as often as we can. If you know of or are aware of any person or event that we should highlight, then please send that information to us at nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com. That's nationalreligiousmediaja@gmail.com, or call or WhatsApp 876-336-9928. That's the local news and sports. Stand by now for the latest international news from the VOA. Let's head over and get that information from the VOA worldwide in 5.
Hi, I'm VOA's Christina Menenti with your worldwide news update. Foreign leaders are continuing their acknowledgement of Donald Trump's U.S. election victory, even from countries that he has threatened. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said she had a very cordial phone call Thursday with Trump, who has threatened to slap steep tariffs on the neighboring country. It was a very cordial call. In general, we talked about the good relationship between Mexico and the United States. There came a moment when he raised there was the issue of the border. He just said it, and I said, yes, there is the issue of the border, but there will be space to talk about it. Sheinbaum, Mexico's first woman president who took office on October 1st, has reassured Mexicans that there is no reason to worry about Trump's victory, despite his threats of tariffs and mass migrant deportations. Foreign Minister Juan Ramón de la Fuente stressed that Mexico's migrant model is working and will stay in place. European Union leaders signed a declaration Friday on competitiveness at their informal summit. Reforming Europe's economy is all the more urgent following President-elect Trump's win, warned the author of a blockbuster report, Mario Draghi, ahead of the talks with EU leaders in Budapest. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni says Europe needs to find a balance and take stock of itself. In the end, the debate, if we want to put it with a bit of humor that evokes American presidents, is don't ask what the United States can do for you, ask what Europe should do for itself. Discussions at the summit also turned towards aid for Ukraine and what Europe needs to do against the growing Russian threat. This comes as officials say Russian strikes have battered 3 regions of Ukraine in nighttime attacks, resulting in at least 1 death. Ukrainian officials say they need more Western help to counter the growing number of attacks, even as doubts deepen over what Kyiv can expect from a new U.S. administration. This is VOA News.
Thank you so much for listening there to the latest from the Voice of America international partners there with news from the international scene. Let's now give you the latest in weather reports and forecasts right here on NRP Radio and NRP Media, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations. National Met Service is reporting that there's a significant feature of a trough across Jamaica. The trough is expected to remain across Jamaica throughout the weekend. In the 24-hour forecast tonight, partly cloudy. Tomorrow morning, isolated showers and possible thunderstorms across eastern parishes. Elsewhere, mainly sunny. Tomorrow afternoon and evening, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms across most parishes. In the 3-day forecast, Sunday through to Tuesday, Sunday, expect isolated afternoon showers across northern parishes, otherwise partly cloudy throughout the day. On Monday and Tuesday, morning showers and thunderstorms are expected across eastern parishes, widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms across most parishes. In terms of other current regional weather features, Hurricane Rafael, located approximately 365 kilometers north of Progreso, Mexico, a tropical wave across the central Caribbean. The minimum temperatures expected for Kingston tonight and Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius. That's the latest weather report and forecast right here on NRP Radio. With that, we've come to the end of our news presentation for this evening, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. 15% reduction in major crimes reported since the start of 2024. Attendance at least 4 St. Elizabeth schools impacted by broken roadway. Youth Month commences this month under the theme Youth Impact 2024, Innovative Minds, Purposeful Action, Collective Triumphs. Calls made to the government to urgently address the critical shortage of service vehicles at 3 St. Mary-based police stations. And in sport, CONCACAF announces the procedures governing the 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup draw. The full half-an-hour package of news in the NRP Break of Day News, that should be the NRP Evening News Roundup, came to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations. Here is your invitation to join us again on Monday morning for the NRP Evening News Roundup. On behalf of the entire news and production teams, I am Leaon Nash for NRP News. We encourage you to join this growing medium by subscribing. Yes, we are calling you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NRP Media JA. That's NRP Media JA. Feel fulfilled and informed. Have a good rest of your evening. Reminding you too that if you walk, ride or drive, make every effort to arrive alive. Have a good evening. Remember to join me at 9 o'clock this evening inside the NRP Weekends Gospel Show. Of course, we're going to be here with you for the Weekends Gospel Show starting at 9 p.m. Join me then. End of the news. Good evening. As we stand by for the time signal coming up at the top of the hour, let's do it now. Don't get angry. Don't be upset. It only leads to trouble. This is NRP Media and Radio. The time is 7 o'clock. Thank you so much. It's 7 o'clock right here on this station. We're just pausing at this time to say thanks to all those of you who joined us on the YouTube channel, as well as on Facebook Live. We do appreciate your time that you spend with us listening to the news. Please tell others about what's going on over this side. Miriam Edwards in particular, we want to say good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us for the news. Winnie Anderson Brown, right? She will be with me tomorrow, hopefully. Winning with Winnie Anderson Brown. It's Youth Month. What is it that she's going to be bringing to us inside of the Weekends Gospel Show Saturday edition? Winning with Winnie Anderson Brown. Yes, she's doing a lot of things, and she loves to share that with the world. Thank you so much for choosing to do that through NRP Radio and our NRP Media, Winnie Anderson Brown. And for the others of you who will join us on this platform after we are done with this side, please be reminded that we do appreciate your time, and we encourage you to continue to joining us here on NRP Radio. Remember, I'm reminding you too that we do wish that you would have your friends come on over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. In particular, we are at 471 and we want to get it to at least 500 in a short while, right? Can you help me to do that? NRP Media JA. Please go over to the YouTube page right now for those of you who are listening and will listen after this. Please go on over and subscribe to the channel at nrpmediaja.com. And not just to subscribe, hit the notification bell as well and share. All right, so share the information to your friends. Let them know that here's a place that provides you with news and good music, right? So come on over, and features as well, because we do have some features that are pretty interesting, especially the NRP Break of Day program, where it's a devotional program for half an hour every morning between Sunday through to Friday. You can't miss out on that one. You should definitely be part of that program when it's happening on this station. In addition, want to use the opportunity to also let you know that we do have the radio app. We do have a radio app that is in the Google Play Store, right? And we're encouraging all of you, friends and family, send it wide, right? And kindly ask them to download the radio app onto their phones, their mobiles, and even onto your computers as well, right? And listen. Put it on. You can listen 24 hours per day while the station is on, right? And continue to give us support on this side, okay? I know that when the review is done in the Google Play Store, that it will come up really, really good for us at NRP Radio. So we want you to download it and listen on the go. It doesn't stop, right? It doesn't stop. It goes 24 hours per day. And of course, if you do that, download, right, it will help you to be able to listen without having to type in nrpmediaja.com, right? You don't have to type that in once you have the app in the Google Play Store, the radio app, NRP Radio app. That is what is in the Google Play Store, NRP Radio app, right? Type that in and download it onto your mobiles, and of course on your iPads and your tablets, etc., and listen on the go. All right. Thank you so much. It is now 4 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going to touch base with the JIS at this time and give you a package of information that I'm sure that you'll be more than happy to say, hey, I missed that one. Half an hour. So this will run until around 7:36, right here on NRP Radio. So right now, in place of the music that you would normally be used to at this time, we're going to be providing you with a package of information and features produced and presented by the Jamaica Information Service and aired in time for government broadcasts.
I'm Jada Francis with the JRS Evening News for Friday, November 8. Coming up, government to ramp up use of AI in auditing activities. Citizens urged to exercise caution in using candles and standby generators. And Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett recognized by the International Tourism Investment Conference. The news in detail after the break.
Improving our relationship with you.
The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, is improving its relationship with you, our valued customer. Our new customer relationship management system will help us to better understand your needs, communicate with you, and address your issues faster. Contact us online and let us help you. The new system is a joint project of PICA and the Transformation Implementation Unit.
Improving our relationship.
Building a better public sector for all.
Now the news. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett has been recognized by the International Tourism Investment Conference, ITIC, for his contributions to the development of sustainable and resilient tourism practices in Jamaica. The occasion took place during the ITIC Global Tourism Investment Summit held at the Queen Elizabeth II Centre in London on Monday. The award acknowledges Minister Bartlett's pioneering work in advocating for comprehensive, sustainable practices and building capacity for tourism resilience. Under his leadership, Jamaica has made significant strides in balancing tourism growth with environmental conservation and community development. The island has also become a thought leader in building resilience in tourism globally. The ITIC Summit is an annual event on the World Travel Market calendar that brings together tourism ministers, industry leaders, and developers from the tourism, travel, and hospitality sectors to connect with potential investors. Minister of Finance and the Public Service Favour Williams says auditors will be using more artificial intelligence AI tools to carry out their duties. Minister Williams indicated that the government will accelerate its deployment of technology in auditing by leveraging artificial intelligence AI to improve efficiency, accuracy, and insights into the organizational, financial, and operational landscape. The minister emphasized that in a rapidly changing technological landscape, the government must ensure that all the audit committees stay at the forefront of innovation so that they can better anticipate and help to mitigate emerging threats while enhancing the efficiency and transparency of the public purse.
It can be used to be predictive. It can identify trends and patterns in financial data that may signal potential risks or fraud. AI can be used to identify unusual transactions or deviations from established financial patterns, flagging them for review before they lead to significant issues. Audit committees could use AI to automate the analysis of large volumes of financial and operational data, thus allowing you to perform deeper reviews without requiring intensive manual work.
Minister Williams was speaking during the annual Audit Committee's conference in Kingston yesterday. The Ministry of National Security has reaffirmed its support for the National Neighborhood Watch movement, which it considers to be a vital partner in the crime prevention efforts. Minister of State Gillette Cuthbert-Flynn says the ministry stands ready to support the expansion of the community initiative.
The Ministry of National Security is fully committed to supporting this and other police-led initiatives that encourage citizens' involvement. We believe that empowering communities with the tools and also the resources and support to watch over their spaces is a preventative step to a broader fight against crime.
Mrs. Cuthbert-Flynn was speaking at the 37th National Neighborhood Watch Conference on November 7 at the Jamaica Conference Centre in downtown Kingston. The conference was held under the theme, Joining Hands and Hearts Together for a Safer and Secure Jamaica. And the Jamaica Fire Brigade, JFB, is urging citizens to exercise caution when using candles and standby generators. The JFB Commissioner Stuart Beckford says if candles are being used as a source of light, especially during power outages, they should be kept away from flammable materials such as curtains and tablecloths.
If you have to use candles, make sure that you put them in a container with some water at the base. When it burns down, it will extinguish itself.
In the meantime, Mr. Stewart is urging persons to take the necessary precautions when using generators to prevent poisoning from carbon monoxide, which is a colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas that can be deadly. That was JIS News. I'm Jada Francis.
Beyond our shores are billions of people waiting to experience the best of everything Jamaica has to offer. Jamaica is on a path to meet the international demand for our approved goods and services. Whether you offer a service or a product, we are looking for you. Participate in this multi-billion-dollar opportunity today. Think differently. Think export. A message from the Jamaica Information Service.
Several travel advisors get an immersive Jamaican experience, courtesy of local hospitality groups. We tell you all about it on this week's Tourism Roundup. It's easy to persuade someone to visit a destination that you have experienced firsthand. From your experience, you can give friends and family in search of a relaxing destination a list of activities to do, places to eat, and tell them about the overall experience. That was the idea, in theory, behind the Sandals Jamaica Love Tour 2024.
Jamaica offers the most complete vacation experience to the Caribbean, and there's a lot of new people coming into the travel agency space who have not yet touched Jamaica, have not yet visited Jamaica. So what we wanted to do was to give them an opportunity to come down and really be immersed in Jamaica, Jamaican experience. So from airport arrivals to transfers, the advisors are going to go into the local communities. They're going to be doing tours and excursions. They're going to be staying at our resorts. So it's really about bringing folks into Jamaica and really truly showcasing Jamaica's culture and why it's such a popular place with folks worldwide.
Vice President of Unique Vacations United States, Garth Laird. 400 travel advisors from around the world visited the country for 1 week fully immersed in what it means to vacation in Jamaica.
So over 400 travel advisors coming in from US, Canada, the UK. We have folks coming from our Latin American market as well. So we've had Peru, Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, Chile, Ecuador, Uruguay, Paraguay. So it's really a global event, really showcasing. We're also including local Jamaican advisors because we do want for them to also understand what Sandals Resorts is about.
With all the fun activities planned for the week, the travel advisors were also addressed by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett, as well as other key government personnel, and a few from the private sector at a special conference.
It's been a lot of excitement. So to really promote and push it, we've created a hashtag called Sandals Jamaica Love. People have been posting for the last week or so about them coming to Jamaica. We've seen posts on social media this morning about people being in the airport. People have taken out all their Jamaica swag. On arrival, we're giving them a red stripe there and a Jamaican leaf package, a part of that Welcome to Jamaica experience. So it's really been a lot of excitement for those that are currently on island.
Christine Alfred, who hails from Virginia in the United States, says she loves visiting the island. She says the event was rewarding and will make her job easier.
Always a good time. I always leave feeling re-energized, full, just rejuvenated. I just love coming here. The energy is always amazing. I just love the atmosphere, and the people is exactly why I always want to come back. I think we play a really big part in it because we travel here and we create that need and want. They see us here and they want to do what we're doing, and we can speak for all of the activities and all of the resorts and bring people here because we love it. They'll love it too. Absolutely, just come. You're going to love it. You'll want to come back again and again, and you'll regret not coming sooner.
Another travel advisor, Gail Snow, who calls herself a Jamaican, says experiencing all the attractions and resorts makes it easier to make a recommendation to persons looking to visit.
Yeah, our recommendations for people to come to Jamaica is enormous. Well, I'm looking forward to doing a lot of the stuff that the foundation has organized for us, like the Reading Road with the kids, visiting the resorts again.
In our No Jamaica segment, Black River St. Elizabeth. Explore Black River for adventure and wildlife experiences for the whole family. As Jamaica's longest navigable river, a visit to Black River will immerse you in the country's captivating history, diverse ecosystems, and spectacular scenery. That's it for this week's Tourism Roundup. I'm Andre Palmer with studio engineer Andre Sawyer.
Let's get together.
Got a tax, customs, or land valuation decision you disagree with? The Revenue Appeals Division is here for you. As an independent entity, we're committed to resolving your tax disputes quickly in a fair, cost-effective, and transparent manner. Don't let grievances overwhelm you. Apply today using our online portal by visiting the Ministry of Finance website at www.mof.gov.jm or call 876-932-4993. The Revenue Appeals Division, driven by purpose, learning with intent.
Jamaican culture represents a fusion found everywhere you look. In our food, in our music, our fashion. Not many know that bandana has Indian origins. Even our motto, out of many, one people, represents the magic that can be birthed out of fusion. In today's Arts Page, we explore a meld that is the brainchild of the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, JBDC's incubator unit, a jewelry workshop that craftily merges two materials which are each titans in their own right. We explore the perfect finish, where metal meets wood. Mixing can't go right. Think Jamaicans, or horribly wrong, as in Frankenstein. But the latest JBDC workshop being undertaken at the agency's incubator unit is one of several in its Perfect Finish series and has set the bar high in creating art out of two sets of materials that traditionally come from very distinct approaches to design. Another challenge here is to carefully cultivate the highest levels of jewelry making out of varying levels of expertise to create products that are worthy of the name. Product Development Specialist at the JBDC, Donna Yuta, reveals the rationale behind the bold decision to marry wood and metal.
The workshop, it's a series. It's called The Perfect Finish, and it's metal meets wood. So we have done many different workshops. However, I was trying to find a niche, something different, something that will pull people in, something that people could say, wow. I was there trying to put together, say, what can I do that is different? And that's when I came up with, I do metal, Valentine does woodwork. So it's metal meets wood.
This isn't her first rodeo as a facilitator. Donna Gay used her seasoned experience to organize a workshop designed to deliver much more than the wow factor. The latest offering was also designed to facilitate the needs of their audience, meeting entrepreneurs where they are at.
We are a facility that opens Monday to Friday, meaning Saturdays and Sundays are off limits. However, our clients that we really want are the ones that are available Saturdays. So putting the workshop on a weekend now opens the door for these 95 persons to walk in and learn a new skill.
And walk in they did. Workshop participant Rose McGee traveled all the way from Montego Bay for what the JBDC had to offer.
I'm a jewelry designer and I own the brand Maroon Treasures. I've always been fascinated with mixing wood and metal. I just happened to come across this workshop and I knew it was perfect for me. I had my first workshop where we did metals. It was just learning how to use metal. Now this is a workshop that has us mixing metal and wood. I have been able to do so much more than when I just started out just using simple beads. So I'm heading towards the direction of being a real jewelry designer.
Colin Porter, Technical Services Manager at the JBDC, weighs in.
This particular workshop is focusing on integrating two different types of materials. So the title of the specific workshop is Metal Meets Wood, and it is about creating unique jewelry pieces by fusing particularly local Jamaican woods and precious metal, in this case, sterling silver. In the craft markets, we have a lot of products which are not necessarily Jamaican in origin or even original designs. This workshop helps to build the capacity of persons creating local products that will be unique, will be of a very good quality, has some higher value than cheap imported trinkets. I don't mean to demean what you see in the craft market as trinkets, but really a lot of them are aimed at a very low price for quick sales. So coming here exposes the creator of products to the design element. A lot of products we see in the craft markets and in other souvenir shops don't necessarily have what we call a high design quotient. The design factor is more about replicating something which is out there already, so a lot of generic products. So this is about creating your own products.
There you have it. Out of many, one uniquely valuable and authentically Jamaican product. Regrettably, we have to leave you here, but please join us next week where we continue to explore the meeting of metal and wood inside another workshop in the Perfect Finish series. Until then, I'm Joy Kelly, wishing you a great one.
Your taxes hold the key.
Motorists, did you know that if your motor vehicle title has two owners and one owner is overseas or unavailable, the title cannot be transferred with just one owner present? Both owners must be present to do the transfer, or the person overseas can authorize the transfer by doing a power of attorney, giving the other owner the permission to do so. For further information, call our customer care center at 888-TAX-HELP or visit our website at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm. This has been your Tax Tip in 60 Seconds, brought to you by Tax Administration Jamaica. Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better.
The Public Health Nuisance Regulations states that no person shall cause or permit a nuisance on any premises owned or occupied by them, or aid and abet any other person to cause or permit a nuisance on any premises. On today's Get the Facts, we look at the Public Health Nuisance Regulation, specifically the regulation as it relates to the rearing of animals and facilitating mosquito breeding. Stay tuned. President of the Jamaica Association of Public Health Inspectors, Jaffe, Michael Miles, tells us what is classified as a nuisance.
A nuisance can be described as any premises or other place which, because of insanitary conditions, is or is likely to become a health hazard, or any accumulation or deposit of solid waste of human or animal excreta is considered a nuisance. The carcass of any animal which is not buried or destroyed within 24 hours of an animal dying is also considered a nuisance.
For various reasons, persons may choose to rear animals at their homes. These scenarios can create an odor nuisance to residents living nearby.
Waste from the pigsty or the pig pen should actually be channeled to a pit and covered. Most persons want to run the waste from the animal husbandry on the surface of the ground, which is wrong. It's a breach of the public health regulation. For poultry, the litter should be changed regularly once wet to prevent odor nuisance. And poultry farming, again, these facilities must be some distance from your neighbor and should be cleaned regularly to prevent odor nuisance. A significant distance away from boundaries. Some persons would put a poultry house at their neighbor's window, which is wrong.
Considering the increased rainfall that we have been experiencing, there has been rapid growth of the mosquito population. Under the Public Health Nuisance Regulation, persons can be brought before the court for facilitating the breeding of mosquitoes and other rodents and pests.
Breeding mosquitoes on your premises is a nuisance and you can be prosecuted. Persons have been prosecuted for these nuisance. Accumulation of water on premises and nuisance facilitating the breeding of mosquitoes, proliferation of rodents as it relates to storage of solid waste, accumulation or what can be considered as illicit dumping of garbage on your premises or other premises, accumulate flies, maggots, harborage for rodents. We monitor our communities to ensure that these breaches are reduced by empowering citizens, educating them on proper waste management, environmental hygiene.
Persons should be aware that there are serious penalties for breaching the public health nuisance regulations.
Breach of these regulations that are classified as nuisance, they are fined. The maximum fine under the public health regulation is $1 million on summary convictions. The judge have the discretion to decide how much the offender pays, but the maximum fine is $1 million or 12 months imprisonment.
President of the Jamaica Association of Public Health Inspectors, Jaffe, Michael Miles. For more information, feel free to contact Jaffe at 876-749-3190. That's where we shall end for today. I'm Warren Bertram. Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another edition of Get the Facts.
Do not use your cell phone while driving, please. That call or text can wait. Do you really have to stream that video while driving? It's not worth your life, nor that of other road users. Stay alert, stay off your phone, and arrive alive.
The Northern Caribbean University NCU Invitational Debate Series, hosted by the Department of Communication Studies, was inspired by the idea of the Great Debate and aims to promote advocacy by challenging debaters from local and international universities to advocate, propose, and defend arguments. Convener of the debate series and chair of the NCU's Department of Communication Studies, Ms. Noreen Daly, emphasizes the significance of the event by reaffirming that debating is a skill that encourages intellectual growth and critical thinking.
I think above anything else, it allows them to have a spirit of tolerance, and I think more than anything else, it's something that's needed in our society. So it gives them an opportunity to go up against their peers and to battle it out intellectually. Because of the format that we use, you literally get 15 minutes to prepare and then you have to present. So that above anything else pushes them, stretches them intellectually. As young people, you should seek just about any opportunity that will help you to grow intellectually. And one of the things with debating is that it attracts people from different disciplines. So it only makes them sharper and it transcends them into their everyday lives.
This year's competition saw the participation of the University of Technology Jamaica UTech, Montego Bay Community College, the University of West Georgia, the University of the West Indies, Church Teachers College, Excelsior Community College, and Manif College. The contest was conducted using the British parliamentary debate format, which consists of 4 teams debating a subject with 2 speakers each. After the moderator presents the topic, each team gets a predetermined amount of time to formulate their position. There are 2 opposing parties in the debate, the government or proposition and the opposition. Then, each team is further separated into opening and closing teams, closing proposition, closing opposition, opening opposition, and opening proposition.
As we analyze the motion at hand, the main contention of this debate isn't whether genome modification or editing is wrong, but rather, should parents be allowed to do it? And if so, why?
As gene editing becomes increasingly popular, it is crucial to reflect on the ethics surrounding trait selection.
Panel, we are constantly asking ourselves, why? They do little job of weighing arguments and to say why it is that the harms does not occur on their side of the house in the status quo.
The team of Robin Forsyth and Will O'Rourke from the University of West Georgia were named champions of the NCU Invitational Debate Tournament, following them presenting convincing arguments to the motion this House would prioritize case management over punitive measures in the fight against organized crime in Jamaica. Director of Debate for the University of West Georgia, Dr. Michael Hester, shares their preparation strategy.
The basic way we approach the NCU tournament is to have our students do some general reading about current events going on in Jamaica to make sure that they're familiar with the current topics that might be controversial enough to warrant a debate. In terms of the motions that the teams received for this debate, they actually covered a wide variety of subjects.
He indicated that the winning team found the crime case management versus punitive measures motion to be somewhat difficult.
We were defending case management, and there's a lot of pathos or emotional appeal to punishing a wrongdoer, especially since this particular motion focused on whether there should be more prioritization of case management as opposed to increased penalties when trying to address organized crime. And so the government side got to really talk a lot about some of the harmful effects of organized crime and why it was necessary to treat them more harshly. And a lot of their arguments were persuasive in that regard. However, our team won that particular debate. They were ranked first, and that's what allowed them to be declared champions.
The most important lesson, according to Dr. Hester, is the relationships that has been formed with other tertiary teams.
The social relationships that are gained through debating those topics and engaging in civil discourse is a huge lesson that you can talk and disagree with each other without coming to blows or even without insulting each other in a petty way.
Director of Debate for the University of West Georgia, Dr. Michael Hester. That's it for this week's program. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we invite you to log on to jis.gov.jm for this and other interesting news and features. I'm Jetta Francis. Walk good.
The blood bank is always in need of blood. Give generously. The blood you give today may save your life tomorrow.
JIS Radio presents Roundabout JA, a 5-minute feature on local news, ideas, people, places, and things. Roundabout JA.
Grace Kennedy Foods donates some $10 million to the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. I'm Monique Whitfield. Let's go Roundabout JA.
Community Changemakers, mark your calendars. The Best Practice Symposium for Social and Community Development is November 13 from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Jamaica Pegasus and live on PIOJ YouTube. Discover local and international tools that have advanced community development. For more information and to register, visit the Planning Institute of Jamaica website, pioj.gov.jm.
In support of ongoing Hurricane Beryl recovery efforts, Grace Kennedy Foods has donated approximately $10 million in irrigation infrastructure support and farming supplies to boost agricultural resilience in Hounslow, St. Elizabeth. The items were presented to Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green on November 1. Pepper farmer Lascelle Ebanks expressed his gratitude for the donation on behalf of his colleague farmers.
With this help from GK, will go a far way, getting me back up on my foot. At one point, I was bringing in hot pepper to Grace, maybe 10,000 pounds per week, and that's before Beryl. After Beryl, there was a major impact to the farmers. So with this, Grace coming on board to help me go a far way in getting back up my farm.
CEO of GK Foods Domestic, Frank James, outlined that GK Foods treasures the relationship it has with the farming community, adding that its support to the recovery efforts goes beyond the items donated.
Today, we have contributed to the purchase of a generator for the National Irrigation Commission to the tune of $6.25 million. But in addition to that, we have also donated mulch, fertilizer, irrigation hoses, seedlings, to a total investment of $10 million. And I say it's an investment because we view it just in that way, that it's an investment in our farmers, it's an investment in agriculture, and it's an investment in Jamaica, which we think is going to reap great returns for us because it's a key part of our supply chain, and for the country because it's a key part of how we build our economy.
CEO of GK Foods Domestic, Frank James. One of the goals under the Vision 2030 initiative is to have a Jamaican society that is secure, cohesive, and just. By 2030, our society should be secure and safe with effective governance. Head on over to vision2030.gov.jm for full access to the Vision 2030 National Development Plan. And for updates on the plan's progress, be sure to check out the Vision 2030 Jamaica social media pages.
Improving our relationship with you.
The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, is improving its relationship with you, our valued customer. Our new customer relationship management system will help us to better understand your needs, communicate with you, and address your issues faster. Contact us online and let us help you. The new system is a joint project of PICA and the Transformation Implementation Unit.
Improving our relationship.
Building a better public sector for all.
And before we go, a gentle reminder that the hurricane season isn't over. Here are a few hurricane preparedness tips. Have on hand simple first aid supplies. Stock a 4 to 5 day supply of food that does not need cooking or refrigeration. And check on these emergency items: water, boots, raincoats, flashlights and batteries, battery-powered radio, hurricane lamp, matches, hurricane shutters, hooks and latches. That's it for today's program. Join us next time when we highlight happenings roundabout JA. Until then, I'm Monique Whitfield with studio engineer Andre Sayers. Walk good.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Thank you so much for listening there to the latest from the Jamaica Information Service, aired in time, allowed for government broadcasts. This is NRP Radio. It's now 7:34. We're going to be logging off of this package right now and hand you back to radio. That's on the platform of nrpmediaja.com. That's nrpmediaja.com. So log on to the radio platform. We're going to hand you back over to some great gospel music until we return with, of course, the 9 o'clock show. That's the Weekend's Gospel Show, Friday night edition, right here on this station. We've got lots of music, and of course, you're going to be making it great as well, because you're going to be joining me at that time. So stay with me right here on this station as we continue to broadcast 365 days per year, 24 hours per day, right here on this station. This is your station for the nation. Savor like a shepherd, lead us, much we need thy tender care. Yes, indeed. As the deer panted for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. Let's touch one of these beauties at this time and close out with radio working it for you on this year evening. Praise God forevermore, my friends. stand by. Let's join some great gospel music now as we continue on the radio platform, nrpmediaja.com.